DIY or Die, Walker Vapor Group LLC, or any of its associates do not condone nor encourage the use of nicotine, vapor products, or any mood-altering substances without the explicit consent of a physician. The content viewable on this channel is strictly for entertainment purposes only and not meant to be seen as informational or educational. Must be 21 years or older to view these materials.
Silky beat. Hey, what is up, mixers? Welcome back to another glorious episode of the MIXINVIXENS. My name is Emily, also known as mlNikon. And please join me in welcoming my other Vixens. First up, we've got Rin. Hello, Rin.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going? How's it going?
Very hot.
You're hot? Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are, baby.
Yeah, you are. Lumi, how you doing?
Lumi is fabulous. I
Yay.
booked my little apartment for the trip to Myrtle Beach in September.
That's fun. I love Myrtle Beach. Very cool. And last but not least, we've got Jen, the Juice Fairy. How you doing, Jennifer?
What's up, everybody?
Hello, hello. How was everyone's weekend?
Oh my God. I did a 4-hour trip down south. It was 4 hours there, 4 hours back between yesterday and today. And on the way back, the whole sky decided to fall down on me. I mean, we had those big rain clouds, you know, the ones that make your whole windshield look like you can't see crap out of it.
Yeah.
I hate driving in that.
Yeah, that's scary. That could be scary. That creeps me out.
It didn't really slow us down much. I mean, it took like 20 minutes, added 20 minutes to the trip, so it wasn't a lot. But I mean, it was just the rain makes it non-visible.
Yeah, it's scary. I totaled a car in rain like that once. It was like right after a few days of really dry, hot weather, and so like then once it rains like that, the roads just get ultra slick because like I guess the oil and stuff. I
don't know. I posted a picture of the rain on my Facebook on the way here. I was like, I hate driving in this, and then
I'm like white knuckling it though. Like whenever it's like.
And you know, and I hear in a lot of places here in the States, we've had a lot of big dry drought, and so I had people saying, "Send it to me." I said gladly, but I don't know how to make the weather do what I want it to do. I'm a little witchy, but not that witchy, you know?
Yep. So guys, we did a cheesecake. We did a cheesecake this week, and I'm here for it. I had fun doing it. Did you guys enjoy making this up?
I did. It was nice getting a nice thick cream put together. It's been a while since I've played with the flavors I played with this week.
Yeah, you know, me too. Like I'm not like a cinnamon type, you know, person. Like it's good every now and then, but like what I did is I kind of focused on just getting a voluptuous cheesecake, you know, and then having a bit of cinnamon. And
I don't know. I didn't see cinnamon in the picture. I mean, that's just not what I saw.
Okay, well, all right.
We'll have to talk about it when it's my turn.
I'm sure.
I was a little reluctant because I was like, oh God, like I love making dessert vapes, but everything about this just looked so wrong. Like really? Diabetes and just too sugary, too rich. Yeah. I was like, I don't even know what this is going to taste like. But then when I mixed it, I was really happy with it.
Those are my favorite kind of vapes because I can't eat this stuff. So when I make it to vape it, I just go all out and make it as sweet and as fat kid friendly as I can.
And normally I'm the same way too, but at the same time, like even with regular desserts, I'm still like pretty reluctant to go balls deep on the super sugary sweet things.
Yeah.
I went pretty balls deep, man.
Oh yeah. Nice. How about you, Rin? Did you enjoy mixing this up?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go first. I think it's been a while since I've gone first.
You do that.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I did 1% for caramel. Not because it's a caramel, but because it's an excellent brown sugar. I'll get to that in a minute. 5% Flavor West caramel cinnamon roll. 0.15% Flavor rich cinnamon. 1% SSA sweet yogurt. 2% one-on-one vanilla custard cheesecake, and 1% FA whipped cream. So what I did for the cheesecake part is I just love vanilla custard cheesecake by one-on-one. It's more of a cheesecake frosting, but I wanted this sweet AF. You know, like I wanted this to taste like it was a mouthful of frosting in my mouth, and I'm here for it. And then I backed it up. So Sam got me on this kick of using SSA sweet yogurt with my cheesecake. And it just gives this nice, full, tangy cream cheese type, note that it just really works with cheesecakes. I really enjoy it. I did the first time I used it, I only did 0.75. So I thought, well, let's just bump it up to 1 and just see what happens. And it works wonders here. It plays off the vanilla custard cheesecake so well because vanilla custard cheesecake is real heavy and rich and sweet and like frosting like. And sweet yogurt has that more of that tang to it. And then it wasn't enough. No, it was not enough for me. I wanted more. Give me more. And we were just talking about FA whipped cream on Noted and how it just coats your palate. You know, like the mouthfeel on FA whipped cream is just so good. It's very dairy-y, it's really thick, very, so it like completed the cheesecake part. And then, like I said, I used Flavor caramel for brown sugar because whenever you have anything with like cinnamon roll or cinnamon sugar, like I want anyway, like a deeper, like a darker sugar note. So, and then caramel cinnamon roll is the caramel and the cinnamon, and of course a little bit of the crust. Like it's not real crust heavy, but I mean obviously you do get the breadingness of the caramel cinnamon roll flavor for the crust. And then it wasn't enough cinnamon for me. I wanted like the caramel cinnamon roll it's a great caramel and it's a great cinnamon. Don't get me wrong, but I just felt like it needed just a little boost from good old Flavor rich cinnamon, and it doesn't need much. I just did 0.15% of Flavor rich cinnamon, and it's really good. I'm here for it. I really like it.
How cinnamony is it?
It not very either. It's a very good balance between the caramel, the cheesecake, and the cinnamon roll. Because I only use 0.15%, it's a good bakery cinnamon note, but it is not subdued by any means. But it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb either. It's very well balanced with everything going on. So.
Right. I was just asking because you know how
Yeah.
sensitive I am to those cinnamon notes. So I was just curious.
No, it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's very even keel with everything else. It's not, it's very well balanced. Because, like I said, I'm not a huge cinnamon freak. I think a little bit of cinnamon or gingerbread goes a long way in certain recipes by making things interesting and stuff, but like I'm not one to just go out of my way to make a cinnamon roll or something, a cinnamon like focused vape. I like it more as an accent, I guess. And this is still like you can tell it's a main player, but it's not like the only like it's
not in your face. It's not like it's not mostly cinnamon.
Exactly.
It's
Yep.
more of a cheesecake with cinnamon in it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Looks
Yeah.
good.
Thanks. It is good. I like it. And I don't think we went over this, but as far as where to go, does it say who submitted it? Oh yes, Sam submitted this. So, and then Rin picked it for this month or for this week. So thank you, Sam, for submitting such a tasty looking picture.
Who wants to go next? I can go next if you want me to.
Sure.
Are we ready for that? All right,
Yep,
let's
do it.
go. So I didn't do cinnamon because we all know that I taste the copper pennies taste from cinnamon usually when I make anything cinnamon. So in my vision of that picture, what I saw was butterscotch, a deep dark butterscotch.
Yeah, you did.
Swirl in there. So what I did for my recipe, and I'll go over the whys afterwards, I did TFA Bavarian cream at 0.75, butterscotch from Flavor West at 3%.
Nice.
I did cheesecake graham crust at 2%, creamy hazelnut at 3%, Yes We Cheesecake at 1.5. So instead of a cheesecake, it was more like an ice cream cheesecake is pretty much what I made on here on a crust. And I really believe that I got, and I also used 0.75% sweetener. I don't know if I mentioned that. I think that I actually got that across. And the reason I used the hazelnut and the hazelnut cream along with the butterscotch, first of all, butterscotch is super creamy and thick. Yes We Cheesecake and the cheesecake graham crust gives the essence of a cheesecake enough in the recipe, especially at 1.5 with the Yes We Cheesecake and the cheesecake graham crust. I've got that at 2%. So that total of 3.5% of those two flavors for me gave it a cheesecake enough note that it can be a cheesecake ice cream, one of those frozen cheesecake ice creams. The Bavarian cream adds a cream milky note to everything and some sweetener with some vanilla notes in there. The hazelnut mixed with the butterscotch is what I would say the swirl part of that cheesecake is, but it also adds the buttery notes that you would find in a cheesecake ice cream type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I just went over everything. 0.75% makes the frosting part, because 0.75% is sweetener. With these flavors that are already sweet, is a lot of sweetener. So it is pretty much a dessert.
What made you use Flavor West creamy hazelnut?
Well, I didn't want to use regular hazelnut because it would have been too dark, and I wanted that ice cream feel from the creamy hazelnut.
Okay.
Yeah. Why do you ask?
The reason I was curious is because sometimes I think Flavor West hazelnuts can seem a little more creamy than creamy hazelnut.
But creamy hazelnut is more ice creamy-ish.
Yes. No, totally it is. And so that's why I was completely satisfied with your answer.
Okay.
Because even though
I was like, I know there's a reason for the question.
Even though it's just as creamy, if maybe a little less creamy than hazelnut, it's lighter and like more, like you said, kind of more of an ice cream type creamy, where Flavor West hazelnut is darker
and thicker.
Yeah.
And the butterscotch itself is already, I used the original butterscotch, so that one is thick as hell. And I didn't want to feel like your tongue weighed 10 pounds when you vape this. You know what I mean?
This mix looks thick with 2 C's.
It is thick.
You look like a thick girl.
It's a thick mix.
I just put it on my to mix list because it looks right up my alley.
It is. It's a little bit too much for me in the summer. It's a little bit thick. So I even debated on adding a little bit of WS-23 to it, but I just, it's such a warm mix. I'm so glad
you didn't.
It's such a warm mix that I felt the WS-23 would clash with it.
Yeah, I think that would be weird.
It would have been. The butterscotch and WS-23 just didn't call me enough to make me do it.
I don't think I've ever made like a butterscotchy type vape cool with WS-23. That just
I
sounds
have.
weird.
It's kind of weird.
It sounds weird. Yeah, like rich stuff is supposed to be warm, like
I know it's an ice cream though, so I did want to add
yeah,
it, but it just didn't fit.
yeah. Yeah, well, I'm gonna mix this up and I'll let you know how I like it because this looks really good. Very cool. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Me.
All right, Louie.
All right. So I don't do much with cinnamony flavors too because I'm super sensitive to them, and they're normally kind of gross. But this gave me the opportunity to try to figure out how to make something like that work. So I used my base shake and vape cheesecake mix that I always do, which is flavor is vanilla pudding at point. I really tried to fuck with you guys with these percentages.
Of course.
0.49 just for triggering concepts here. Cheesecake graham cracker crust TPA 0.99%. And Yes We Cheesecake by Inawera 1.49. And that's my cheesecake base. So then I was like, okay, what am I doing now? And then I wanted to start working on like the brown sugary cinnamon essence to it. And to keep the cinnamon low, I used cinnamon sugar Silverline Capella at 0.86% and paired with TPA's brown sugar at 0.16 to kind of give it a oomph.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the topping, cream cheese icing by LA, which it's the first time I've used it and it knocked my socks off. And then I just wanted to put crumble topping in there because everybody's always doing crumble topping stuff. So
hey, crumble topping, why not? It's delicious. Throw it in.
Add it to the crust, add it to the fact that like if you get like a coffee cake or something like that, there's sometimes crumble toppings. So I was like, can't go wrong with this. Can't go wrong with this. It's like the crusty notes or just adding an extra oomph.
Absolutely. Yeah, to me, like Wonder Flavors crumble topping or even Wonder Flavors cookie butter, they're just extras that you can't go wrong by throwing them in your mix, like
it definitely won't ruin any mix.
Yeah, definitely. This looks really good. And I like the vanilla pudding combo with the cheesecake graham crust and with the Yes We cheesecake. That sounds really intriguing. I don't think I've ever tried that combo before, and I'm here for it.
I came up with it one day because somebody was asking for like a shake and vape cheesecake, and at the time we had Alfred puddings, but because he used Capella's cheesecake pretty high in there, I got that footsie note.
Oh yeah.
I really just wanted to come up with my own staple of a cheesecake base that was shake and vape, and I did it. So I was like,
and yes. I can't believe this is the first time you tried cream cheese icing by Lorenz.
I've always had the opinion that if they don't like us, they don't deserve our business. So I was using one-on-one.
Vanilla.
Now that one-on-one is taking all their toys and went home to their own website.
I know, right?
I was like, okay, fine, I'll try it.
I'll play with Lorenz. Cool. Well, this looks really good. I almost used the cinnamon sugar by Capella because it is a really nice bakery cinnamon as well. But I'm like, you know what? I like the cinnamon note and like I wanted caramel and cinnamon, and so I'm like, okay, and I like the cinnamon note of the caramel cinnamon roll. I'm like, that'll just do, I'm all about like the one and done kind of flavors that will do multiple things. So I'm like, I'll use that, and then that's why I just boosted with the rich cinnamon. But I almost use that cinnamon sugar because that's a really good bakery cinnamon, sweet, sugary.
I think if I would have used cinnamon, that's the one I would have used because that's the least offensive one to me as well.
Yeah, so if anybody here is not a super taster, fair warning, you might not taste it, but for me, Like the inhale of it is like that cream cheese icing cheesecake blend with a little graham cracker after note. Like, and then like somewhere halfway through like the pull, you get that cinnamon flavor.
Mhm.
I'm in love with it. Like I thought this was going to be way too sweet. And surprisingly enough, the cream cheese icing at 0.53%, I know it's there. I can taste it clear as day.
And it's a shower or a grower. I mean, so like
A shower
yeah.
and a grower. It's one of those flavors you cannot deny it's in a mix. You know
Yeah.
when it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me kind of sad that I've been avoiding it for this long because it is really good.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah,
Be
that was
careful
good.
pushing it too high now that you discovered it.
Oh, I don't push my flavors very high.
Very cool. Yeah, this looks good. All right. So what I also was wondering is, I guess I've never done anywhere ESB cheesecake at only 1.5%. Do you find it, I guess maybe with the cream cheese icing too, like is it like cheesy enough, like cheesecakey enough?
For me, with the use of the Yes Sweet cheesecake, the cheesecake graham cracker crust, where
Mm-hmm.
cheesecake graham cracker crust has that little bit of cheesecake note, but more heavy on the graham cracker, and Yes Sweet cheesecake is more heavy on the cheesecake with a very light graham cracker note, plus the vanilla pudding. I find that all three of those make
Cool.
a really good combo for
I agree. I use mine at 1.5 as well, and I find
Okay.
it's plenty when you mix it with the cheesecake graham crust.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, normally if I'm doing like something like more of like a fruity cheesecake, I'll use lemon meringue pie, but because this was more desserty, I wanted to stay away from any off notes the lemon might bring into it.
Yeah, good call. Cool. All right. Rin, you're next, baby girl.
So mine's fairly simple. I used mulberry cheesecake as the cheesecake note. I like this one in particular because it doesn't need a whole lot of steep time, and I just haven't used it in a while, so I figured I would give it some.
Why not? I don't know, right?
Yeah, it's a
That's
good.
the only reason I keep doing the show. Because it lets me just, use flavors just for fun and experiment stuff I haven't used in a while.
Yeah. And then I used Wonder Flavors cinnamon pastry at 1.5 because I'm personally not a fan of most cinnamon roll flavorings, but I hadn't tried Wonder Flavors, so I figured I would use it, and it worked really well. I added a little bit of caramel from Flavora at 0.25% for that brown sugar note, to add to the cinnamon. And then for the frosting, I used Vape Train vanilla buttercream frosting at 0.5%, and then 0.25 Flavora frosting, just because there's so much frosting on that pitcher.
Yeah. It's very frosting heavy.
Yeah, but if you didn't have or you didn't want to, you can totally omit the Flavora and it would be fine. It's just to make it really sweet and frosting heavy. But yeah, I mean, it's good. It's nothing I would probably vape all day. It's just too much for me. I like my fruits and lighter vapes.
It looks pretty thick.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and something I forgot to say about mine. I'm sorry to interrupt. Mine did take at least 5 days to steep for that butterscotch.
Yeah.
Steep. If you mix mine, steep it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Because butterscotch, I mean, it's okay right away, but it changes so drastically if you give it a week.
Yep. On day 3, it starts to change. Day 5, it starts to settle. I'd say day 7, it's like where it's going to be.
Unctuous. Like, yeah. Rin, I have a question about the mulberry cheesecake. I think that's one I have not tried before. How like cheesy is it, or like is it how is it crust heavy? Is it cheesecake heavy? Like what? Tell us a little bit about that flavor.
It's definitely more of the inside of the cheesecake. The crust it's kind of like Pure Lum's cheesecake in that it's not a whole lot of crust. And I don't find it too sour. Like you said, you don't like the foot.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of the foot in there. So if you're like sensitive to cheesecakes or you find that you don't like them, they're just too much. This is more, it's kind of like, have you ever made those Jello cheesecakes that you don't have to bake or anything? You just add like milk or whatever and you let it sit in the fridge and then it kind of
the no bake cheesecakes.
Yeah, it's kind of like that where it's not so heavy as like a New York cheesecake that you bake and then it's super thick. It's a little bit less offensive, I guess, than other ones can be.
Cool.
It's like up there with Pure Lum for me, the New York cheesecake.
Oh, I love that Pure Lum New York cheesecake. That one's a really good one. Yeah, I like that one a lot too. Okay, I might have to pick it up. Probably next time Noted does cheesecakes, I'll be picking it up. We have had some people play along with us. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people play along with us this week. So that's exciting. I'll start us off with the first one is by Joni. And she's titled it Cinnamon Roll Cheesecake, #MB. Thank you very much. 2% Capella Cinnamon Danish Swirl. Old Faithful. 0.75% cream cheese icing by Lorenz. 1.5% Flavor West graham cracker. 0.5% one-on-one marshmallow vanilla. 3% Purell New York cheesecake, speaking of the devil. And 1% vanilla custard cheesecake. She says, good off the shake, but very sweet and in-your-face flavor. Off to the steep drawer. This looks really nice. I am all about using Flavor West graham cracker. I think that is an excellent graham cracker to use. And 1.5%, it shouldn't be too overpowering. And then I really like the idea of mixing the New York cheesecake by Pure Lum with the vanilla custard cheesecake by 101. I don't know that you would need both cream cheese icing and vanilla custard cheesecake. To me, they're very similar and kind of do the same thing. But who knows, because they're both used kind of low here, so they probably work and probably, are good. Yeah, thanks, Joni, for sharing.
Looks good. I can pick up Darcy.
All right.
Let's see. Let me pull it up real quick. It says cinnamon roll cheesecake #MB, and she used cinnamon Danish swirl, the good old trusty old cinnamon roll Danish swirl. That's the old-fashioned one, the one that everybody is in love with. Cream cheese icing from LA at 1%. Graham cracker from Capella at 1.25%. New York cheesecake from Capella at 3%, and vanilla custard cap at 3%. This looks pretty good. It also reminds me of an old recipe that floated around, but I don't know which one it is, but it looks delicious.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, because looking at this, I'm like, this looks old school. Like, this looks like it's reminiscent of something.
It really does look like something I've seen before. But I mean, at this point, everything has been mixed. You know what I mean?
Right. And I cap graham cracker. I freaking love that. That's a great, I think, a good idea to use as the crust for the cheesecake, especially since there's cinnamon in the cheesecake anyway, because you do got that that good spice note that just will go with the cinnamon Danish swirl just fine.
Yeah, and people forget the old flavors, and cap graham cracker is a very good flavor.
It is. It is. Yep. Awesome. This looks good too, Darcy. Very good. Yeah, and I haven't used cinnamon in a swirl in quite a while. But I think
I used it a couple recipes back, and I don't regret it. That's a good flavor to throw in there.
I'm surprised you use it because you said you're sensitive to the whole
I am.
thing
I don't remember.
anyway.
I don't remember what the hell the profile was, but it's what went with it.
Oh, it was someone else's recipe, and you mixed it.
It was one of the one. It was one of the ones that we were doing, but I think it was an actual cinnamon roll, and I mean that's just the classic one you would have to use. So even if I don't like it, I can use it. I can mix it. I'm just not going to vape it for very long, you know.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Lumi, Salmon's up next.
Of course. I have it pulled up. I'm just waiting in anticipation and preparing my vocal cords. Me. All right.
Click the bottom link, not the one that's in with all the others. Okay,
I did. A sinful creaming. The name almost makes up for the fact you did not use proper percentages. But here we go. Buttercream frosting, super concentrate, wonder flavors, 1.5. Cream cheese icing, LA, 0.75. I really like that combo. Graham cracker Capella, 2%. New York cheesecake per lamb, 3%. Rich cinnamon flavor, 0.25. Sweet yogurt SSA, 1%. Sweetener sucralose Flavor West, 1%. There's so many things that I disagree with here.
Really?
Percent being the main one.
Oh, okay, get over it.
And rich cinnamon at 0.25. I always figure rich cinnamon is one of those things where you have to sit there while you're dripping it and try to karate chop it in half with like a toothpick.
You do, but with this being like the only cinnamon note in the vape, I think 0.25 would be fine.
Maybe.
You know, and yeah.
Sweet yogurt, what the fuck are you doing in there? I can see what you're doing here, but it's just mind palace can't quite comprehend the taste.
You need to try sweet yogurt with a cheesecake with me because
I think I'll pass.
Well, first, I don't know, when Sam said something to me, this is probably a week or two ago, about using sweet yogurt with cheesecakes. I'm like, ew, like, no. But you know what? It just gives that tang, that cream cheese tang that cheesecakes, most cheesecake flavors just don't have or don't get right. Or if they try to do it, it comes off like funky, like the foot thing that Rin was talking about. But sweet yogurt just it's like a cleaner tang, if that makes sense. And it works with cheesecakes.
I do really like the combo of buttercream frosting by Wonder Flavors, and now that I've tried cream cheese icing by LA, I'm like, actually like, oh, maybe, because I love buttercream frosting. I just don't like how much you have to use to get the flavor to even pop.
Yeah, buttercream frosting is a good flavor. But you're right. It's like it's definitely a background flavor because like it's sweet and heavy, but not. It doesn't have like a front kind of tip of your mouth like flavor note. But cream cheese icing definitely does. So
yeah, and if you're doing an icing, you want that to be up front because it's the first thing that's touching your tongue when you eat something.
Yeah, but so it makes great sense. You put them both together and you have a great frosting. So yeah, this looks really, really nice, Sam. Someone was saying, Bob was saying how he prefers Italian cream to sweet yogurt. And before I tried sweet yogurt, I use a little bit of Italian cream as well, also in cheesecake. It kind of does a similar thing, but sweet yogurt is a little bit more forgiving. It's not quite as sharp as Italian cream. So I think I'm kind of like switching over, and I'll probably be doing sweet yogurt now instead of Italian cream, which means really I don't have much use for Hankson's Italian cream in my life anymore. Because that's like the only thing I would use it for, is that tang to help out cheesecake.
I just saw the notes. Day 4 stirp. Wow. Okay. I think if I changed anything, one more drop of rich cinnamon. Ugh.
Oh wow.
He wants one more drop
Another
of
drop.
cinnamon.
He likes the cinnamon. Boy likes the cinnamon. Let him have it. You do you, bud. You do you.
I mean, and he's the one that turned in the picture, so
That's
I
right.
want cinnamon.
All right. Rin, you want to do Jeannie Sims? She's next.
All right, so she did cinnamon cheesecake, 3% TFA cheesecake with graham crust, 3% Lorenz cheesecake, 1.5% Capella cinnamon sugar, and 1.5% Lorenz cream cheese icing.
Okay, nice and simple. Simple mix. You know that? Okay, have any of you used that Lorenz cheesecake?
No.
It's good. It is. Like
It's thick.
It's thick and sweet.
Yeah,
And
it's cheesy though.
Cheesy, yeah. It's got like that cheesy, that I would not add sweet yogurt or Italian cream to, because it already has. It's already plenty cheesy, but it's not. I guess I haven't gone that high with it, but when I single flavor tested it or used it in recipes lower, it's even though it's cheesy, it's not like foot funky. You know what I mean? Like it's
not pukey. So I mean, it's
not.
Like it's a good cheesecake.
It's a good.
I mean, there's not much you can say other than it's pretty good.
Exactly, and paired with that graham crust, yeah, I'm here for it. And with the cinnamon sugar, yeah, this looks good. This actually looks like I like this a lot. This recipe, it's right up my alley because it's simple. She actually used less flavors than I did this time. Yeah, good job, Ginny.
I think I'll just have to add more Lorenz, I guess.
Yeah, three. Oh no, that's not the cream cheese icing. For a second. Yeah, 1.5% isn't too high for cream cheese icing. So, but yeah, you need to get some more Lorenz in your life to try that cheesecake.
And I was trying to avoid it. Now that I've had that cream cheese icing,
yeah, they make some good stuff. Yeah.
Do you want me to pull up Michelle Hughes?
Sure.
I'd like to do hers.
You go ahead and do Michelle Hughes.
The reason I say that is because I looked at her recipe and I saw that she used creamy hazelnut from Flavor West.
Yeah.
And she used eggnog. So she too avoided the cinnamon and used a different spice with eggnog from Flavor at 1.5%.
I actually really like that idea of eggnog.
Yeah.
She used Italian ice cream from Hangsen at 1%, sugar cookie from Cap at 3%, and Yes We cheesecake from Inawera at 3%. I mean, this looks like a straight up cheesecake ice cream also, kind of like mine. I love it. I love it. It looks like it's going to be, I mean, that eggnog really called my name with that creamy hazelnut from Flavor West. I would like to mix this myself.
Yeah.
I don't know about that sugar cookie V2, but I have heard that she really enjoys that better than V1.
Yeah, I'll probably sub V1, Michelle. No offense. Nothing personal. But this looks really freaking good. This looks I like where your head's at. She used Italian cream, speaking of Italian cream, for the cheesecake part to go with that Inawera Yes We cheesecake. And I like using the sugar cookie as the crust. I'm liking it because you don't want anything too dark because you're using eggnog. You know what I mean? And like eggnog is already kind of dark and spicy. So it's keeping the crust a little bit lighter. Like I like that. Yeah.
And on top of that, the entire mix looks super creamy and good.
Mhm.
And cheesecakey.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice, Michelle. Thank you for sharing. That looks good too. Man, everyone's just killing it. Everyone's just killing it and coming up with awesome looking mixes. So we're here for that. And is that it?
I think that's
the
it.
last one, I think.
Did you say there is one more?
No, that was the last one.
Hey, I have a question before we go into any of our rants and any of our other stuff. I tried looking on the LR for a Blueberry Trinity. Is there one out there?
There's a couple. I mean, there's the old school Blueberry Trinity, which is Blueberry Wild, Blueberry Extra, and Flavor West Blueberry.
Some people add the bilberry to it as well, but I found that VSO's blueberry just kind of replaced that Blueberry Trinity.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just creating a pod recipe, and I need the blueberry to be like blueberry, and I need it to be able to push it really high for pods, so it's not something that's going to be.
Yeah. I would do. Hold on.
I figured I'd ask you, or maybe other people in chat need the.
I would do Vape Train Bilberry Ripe, Flavor West Blueberry, and Jungle Flavors Blueberry.
Okay, I'll try that. I'll try those three and put them together and see what it does.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it to come through in a pod.
Right. So you want it like boom. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm at about 15% with all the blueberries I have in it, and it's still not strong enough for the type of pod that I'm using, which is one that has very little flavor. So it's very low watts. It's at 5 watts that I'm putting it in.
Okay. Yeah. Try that. Try those and let me know what you think, because they're all very strong flavors. So next week, let's talk about next week, shall we? I believe James should have a picture up. I picked this one. It was really hard for me to pick this week. There were so many good looking ones. Dave, or ID10T, aka Dave, he submitted this. And I guess I was on the whole kick from the cheesecake from the week before of just rich, desserty type things. And this looked really good to me. So yeah, I'm excited. I haven't tried mixing this yet. Normally I start my mixings on Tuesday for things. I'll start like theory crafting today and tomorrow, but I'll actually start my versions on Tuesday.
Now I don't know what I was thinking with the butterscotch on this week's recipe. This is what it would have gone in.
I'm going Flavor West butterscotch, and I'm going hardcore Flavor West butterscotch.
I might have to go caramel heavy.
Yeah. Because this looks really fire. This looks good, and I'm here for it. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we wrap the show up?
I do.
All right.
Okay. So I have actually recently discovered Bull City now carries bulk bottles. So instead of going to like dropper bottles or something bullshit, now when you order flavors, you just go into the bulk section and you can get the little chubby gorilla bottles, and I love them.
Yeah, and they're really well priced too. That's where I usually buy mine as well. When I make a bulk order, I get my thing of bottles from there, and they're the real, authentic chubby gorilla.
Yeah, real chubby gorilla, like
nice.
With the gorilla on it. I love it. They've also started carrying other stuff that I see plenty of uses for. So I normally tell people go check out dropper bottles. Bull City has upped their game, and I'm in love. Like, I like having the bigger holes now too, because if you go to dropper bottles, these things are more expensive normally.
And
so
not just that, you can pop those lids off so that you can, if you need a little more flavor after your testing, of a specific flavor, those lids come off easily and you can put them back on. And they don't pop off after.
They have the tool. They sell a little tool to pop the caps off.
What? I just take pliers and it's like a 50-50 shot. Am I gonna break it today? We'll see.
No, Rin's holding it up right now. It's I don't know where mine is at the moment. I'll probably need to dig it out now that you said that.
Oh, that's crazy. I need one of those in my life.
Yeah, I have it too. I just don't know where.
It's like a bottle opener.
Yeah, you just put like this little sharp-ish part underneath it.
Under the lip and just
Yeah, I just figured I'd mention it because I know a lot of people have been going to like Heartland and dropper bottles, and now you could just one-stop shop. Like I'm about to be trying the VG and the PG soon. I've just been having a blast going.
Their VG is really good. It's even got a sweeter taste and it's thicker. I mean, it's good and bad. I mix pod recipes, so I need to use more PG with their VG because their VG tends to be thicker.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I hate going to multiple stores all the time. If I can just get everything in one place.
Yeah. Same. All right. And Lumi, so we want to talk a little bit real quick so I don't forget about your stands.
Oh,
she's not making them anymore.
Yep, Lumi stands are going out of business. I have 8 510s left as far as I know right now, as I've been doing resin work and slowly running out of stuff and not resupplying. Occasionally a new 510 pops up. But once I run out of 510s, I'm done with stands.
They're done, so.
If you guys would like to help me keep clearing out, I'm trying to make space for upcoming projects. And I appreciate the help if you guys can get a Lumi stand.
Get a Lumi stand while you're hot. And if you like us and you like what we do and you want to support the rest of us in a fun, tasty way, there's a couple places you can do that. If you're happy to be shopping at Flavor Jungle, Rin and I still have one shot there on the MIXINVIXENS. And DIYFlavorchaser.com, our MIXINVIXENS, we have a one-shot line there. But if you're shopping at Chef's, that same line is also available under Chef's under the MIXINVIXENS as well. So, throw us some love and try out our one shots. Some people say they're not bad. They're pretty good, So if not, it's okay. We still love you. We'll see you next week. Oh, we need to share we'll see you next week for that delicious butterscotch pudding thing.
Hey, it might not be butterscotch.
Okay, that delicious
pudding
with dessert.
Yeah,
pudding thing. The glorious that is the ooey gooiness of that picture that you just saw. Anyway, bye. We'll see you next week.